Hey guys,
We're here today to check out a Patreon request from this Patrono right here. Asked to check out some Hanging Garden with none other, the man, the myth, the legend, Tomi Joutsen from Amorphous. I'm assuming on vocals. I don't think they brought
what
him
else would you get him to do?
Tambourine.
Oh,
Imagine him, Mr. Tambourine Man.
or triangle.
Nah, he's too cool for a triangle. I feel like he's too cool for that. Cowbell, maybe.
Cowbell, maybe.
Maybe cowbell.
It's been a while since we've mentioned the cowbell.
That is true. By the way, the name of the song is Hearthfire. Anyways, before we click play, I want to mention one thing for those of you watching at home, because I'm sure 99.9% of you are Finnish, since the band is from Finland, and you guys like to check out what your fellow countrymen are up to and what we think about them. I don't know if you know this, but I'm totally into the new season of the Little Johnstons because they have a dude from Finland.
I do know this.
Jose.
Yeah, because you.
That's the only reason I'm watching the whole season is because of this guy, and he's into metal. No
Obviously.
surprise. No surprise.
Come on.
Yeah, no surprise. That was a very little surprise. You know, if you know what I'm saying.
God damn it.
So anyhow, by the way, it's fucking hilarious. This new season, this guy makes the show. I hope he stays maybe for another season, or at least they do a spin-off. And they do a season
just
of him. Yeah, in Finland.
In Finland, okay.
You know, like
I'd be down to
doing sauna, doing whatever the fuck. I don't care what he does. I'll watch it. You should have seen the people trying the licorice and whatever, and the faces that they were making, because he wanted he wanted them to try the salmiakki and all of this shit. It's fucking hilarious. Anyhow, if you guys are now watching that in Finland, I don't know, find a way to watch the Little Johnsons, the new season with Jose from Finland. He's an exchange student or something. I don't know, something along those lines. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I can't believe I just gave a shout out to the Little Johnstons. All right. Is that Petri? Looks like Petri. And his sword, he trusts us. Wow. All right. Wow, what the fuck was Petri doing there? I know in his sword he trusts, but really?
He really does trust his sword.
I know. The guy is like, the sword is an extension of his own body.
It is.
Yeah. Especially when he goes to the Twilight Tavern. He sits down, he has a drink, holding onto his sword, praying to Andromeda. I don't know.
I'm trying to find some.
I'm trying to think of other songs that could go in that sequence of conversation, but right now I'm drawing a blank. Well, maybe he sings a little bit of La La Lay.
I was trying to, but I couldn't find a way to put it in there.
Maybe that's what he's singing when he's hopping like around, like, you know, in the forest with his sword in hand. You know, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I could see him totally doing that. All right. Anyways, enough of Petri and his shenanigans. What do you think about this track?
The track is very it moves very like a I don't know how to explain
like a stream?
it. Like a stream, yeah. It moves like
it's not a fast-moving river. It's a stream.
It's a stream. It's a stream of clear water.
It's a trickle.
Yeah, it's a stream of like crystal clear water. It's beautiful and it's just running down a nice mountain. I feel like that's
slowly carving its path.
Yeah, that's like the poetic way of this song. That's the thing.
The philosophical way.
Yeah, the way I picture. If this song was like an actual scenery, that's what I picture. Because it was beautiful. I mean, the harsh vocals aside, the song itself was very, very beautiful. Like it was very light, even though it had obviously the harsh vocals and the heaviness of everything else. Somehow still
it wasn't super heavy, but most of the heaviness was coming from those vocals.
Obviously,
it's just the volume got bigger.
The volume got bigger, but still somehow being quite light at the same time. Nothing. It doesn't matter how much heaviness you added to the song itself still felt very light. But I liked that. I really enjoyed the fact that the song was still very light while having some harshness in it, because it also made the song feel, with the black and white video, kind of feel like it had some sorrow behind it.
Yeah, it almost felt like one of those Buster Keaton, Charlotte Chaplin movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where everything moves a little bit slow, black and white, you know, that kind of stuff. I thought the song musically was just puts you in a trance. It has this it weaves its way around you in a very interesting kind of way. It has a very nice melancholic nature to it, to the sound, but not to the point where that melancholy becomes overly dark and obscure that really creates weight on you. It's not a song. What I mean by that is not a song that it's hard to digest. When you think of songs that do this or have a similar way about them, you think of bands like Halatar, for example, to use since Tomi is in it. I'm figuring that that's a good example. But when you listen to Halatar, and even to a certain degree, when you listen to Swallow the Sun, sometimes you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders when you listen to one of the tracks.
That's what I kind of felt here. I felt that. I was gonna say.
I felt like there was enough lightness in it that never really got me to that point.
But it reminded me.
It was not overbearing.
But Halatar was a good one because it kind of reminded me a little bit of the feeling I get from Halatar.
But I feel like Halatar is a little bit harder to digest.
It's harder to digest, yeah. But I'm saying
it's a little bit harder to digest. I felt like this song was a little bit easier for you to get into. It's easier for you to listen to. It's easy for you to digest, to process, and kind of walk with it as you're going along. Halatar, and like I said, to a certain degree, some of the Swallow the Sun songs, sometimes you feel exhausted at the end of the track. Not at the end of the album, at the end of the track, because it was so emotionally draining, is so heavy, and not necessarily heavy like from a heaviness perspective, just the emotion makes the song feel heavy, like you feel like you're carrying this burden with you. This song, while coming close, never really got to that point. And I feel like the melody that the track have, the clean vocals within the track, kind of eased that burden. It eased that burden and made the song feel a little bit more palpable, a little bit more easier to digest. Doesn't take anything away from it. The song is incredible all the way through. It's just when you look at those bands and you look at some of those songs, this one to me feels a little bit more approachable. If you never heard of those bands and you never got into them, and this is the perfect kind of a gateway to get into something that's a little bit more substantial. So I like the fact that it was Halatar light. With no disrespect. I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying that they're kind of in the same ballpark, but one definitely requires a lot more from the listener, one band, and the other one, as far as this song is concerned, is a lot easier to digest. And if you're trying to get one of your friends into this kind of sound, this is a much better segue into it than some of those other bands.
Because that one is more for the experienced listener.
Yeah, if you're not into the whole death doom vibe or whatever,
if you're not emotionally prepared,
or even a funeral doom, if you're not into, like, funeral doom requires a whole new level of expectations, a whole new level. You have to have thick skin to listen to some of those tracks. Bands like Halatar, I think, is the one that comes to mind. Red Moon Architect, I think, is another one from Finland. When you listen to bands like that, they require a lot from you as a listener. Any funeral doom band does, because their sound is just sometimes overwhelming. And I feel like if you're introducing one of your buddies to one of those bands and they've never listened to the genre, that's a little bit hard to get into. This track, while this band is not a funeral doom band, this song has elements.
It has elements of it,
and I think you can
easier to wedge yourself into.
Yeah, it's a nice stepping stone. You know what I mean? It's a building block. So I really enjoyed it because it had a lot of the attributes of that genre without being as demanding from the listener as some of the bands in that genre are. So that's my take from it. You agree?
I agree.
All right. On that note, guys, thank you to the Patreon that requested this track, this song, this video, and we'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.
See ya.